Appreciate that friend you have. Respect and rate that friend. Never go around that friend like it's a lap you're running. You never know when you're gonna need that friend. So don't hurt true feelings of friendship, because friendship is more than what you think. Friendship is loyalty, engraved with loyalty. Milk spoiled, shoes rubbed down, but a true friend can't change. Registration change from your car every year, but a real friend not change. So if you're dropping out the friend zone, stay true, stay real dog. Backbiting no belongs in a friend zone. Tell your friend if it's a flop on the play dog. Don't put no money on a girl over friend. Disagreement, welding, everything men go the extreme mile for me friend. Now 8 can make me pint my 9 for my friend. Bittersweet sometimes, so you grow with can't validate as a friend. See Chrissy we not hide feelings. Every man a man fi straighten out the curve them. Jaja plead my cause, loyal till the ultimate price. The wick pan the candle we burn out, but a true friend always have a life. Milk spoiled, shoes rubbed down, but a true friend can't change. Registration change from your car every year, but a real friend not change. So if you're dropping out the friend zone, stay true, stay real dog. Backbiting no belongs in a friend zone. Tell your friend if it's a flop on the play dog. Me pray for my friends successful, but my real friends no card now pull. While this ask bad bull, blood in blood out streets are full. So if my friend have my back, me thankful. All car but the gas tank full. If you real that can't harmful. Friend build bridges, no craft can pull. Same dreams, same endeavors, same everything we could have passed as brothers. FOE, not jealous and not the different over everything. Milk spoiled, shoes rubbed down, but a true friend can't change. Registration change from your car every year, but a real friend not change. So if you're dropping out the friend zone, stay true, stay real dog. Backbiting no belongs in a friend zone. Tell your friend if it's a flop on the play dog. Tell your friend if it's a flop on the play dog.
You're my brother.
Tell your friend if it's a flop on the play dog. Tell your friend if it's a flop on the play dog. Milk spoiled, shoes rubbed down, but a true friend can't change. Registration change from your car every year, but a real friend not change. So if you're dropping out the friend zone, stay true, stay real dog. Backbiting no belongs in a friend zone. Tell your friend if it's a flop on the play dog.
C-H-R-I-S-T-I-N. Ryan with God to the end. Yeah, Jesus, he died for the sin. I'm a C-H-R-I-S-T-I-N. Ryan with God to the end. Yeah, Jesus, he died for the sin. I'm a C-H-R-I-S-T-I-N. Ryan with God to the end. Yeah, Jesus, he died for the sin. I'm a C-H-R-I-S-T-I-N. Ryan with God to the end. Remember me from way back up in the G. You probably know me from the streets. Yeah, I was only trying to eat. I ain't know about Jesus or nothing. I was only addicted to money. Pray to heaven every time. It took me from nothing and made me to something. Now I gotta read the Bible. You know Jesus Christ, that's my idol. I made a vow to my God. Ain't selling no drugs, ain't shooting no rifle. My people still on the block. I'm trying to get them off the block. You people talking about the game. I've been in the game. I got the game locked. Jesus with me living good. Yeah, I graduated out the hood. Hey, on me cause I love Jesus. I ain't tripping, I knew that you would. Jeremiah, that's a 29. If you seek him, then you shall find. I got blessings on me, y'all.
Welcome again to this King Relate Show on One Way Praise Radio, where we voice the gospel. There's
We're good.
All right.
All right.
Sorry about that. Oh my
Sorry
goodness.
about that, guys. Hello.
So again,
welcome again.
Welcome to Can You Relate? Here with Brendan and Roads of Marriage of God.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. We have a treat for you on this evening, and we hope that you are ready as we gear up for the holidays. We have none other with us than the wonderful Dr. Ebony Butler, and yes, she is a real doctor.
Yes. She has her credentials and everything.
And so, Dr. Eb, we're going to open it up for you to go ahead and introduce yourself really quickly.
Okay. Hey, thank y'all so much for having me on. I'm super, super excited. I just love y'all to death. Y'all are so amazing. But I am Dr. Ebony. I'm a lifestyle and weight management specialist, and I provide coaching and consulting to women who are looking to create a healthy lifestyle. And I don't do that in the traditional way. I help women create the healthier lifestyles by tackling their mindset issues and focusing on changing their relationship with food. As a consequence, the weight does come off when you begin to change your relationship. You begin to make better choices, and that's the way that we help you lose weight. So that's who we are, and we co-own My Sister's Keeper. I co-own My Sister's Keeper with my sister, and so that's our business, and that's where we provide our services, our programs, our products, all of that great stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Dr. Ebony, for agreeing to come in and talk with us and kind of get our minds right.
Yes.
As we go into the holiday season, Thanksgiving next week. And so we thought, what better time to bring the great Dr. Butler on?
Yes.
So she can help us to get our minds right.
So, me and Angel, we've done a whole lot with Dr. Ebony. She is nothing short of our family. We love her to life. But even the smoothie challenges and everything that we've done with weight loss in the past year or so was through Dr. Ebony.
Right.
And as we describe who she was, she's like, when we say it, one of the world's greatest expert in weight loss, because she deals with the core of weight loss.
Absolutely. Everything begins in the mind.
Yes.
And so to be able to help women in particular tackle those mindset issues that we have that keep us from losing the weight or keep us on those on again, off again yo-yo diets, nothing short of amazing. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Dr. Eb, she is phenomenal at what she does.
Yes.
So again, you're in for a treat on this evening.
Well, can we ask you? Let us ask you a quick question. Tell us what you do about people who are struggling with their weight loss. What is the first thing that you do, like, to create a relationship with them?
Well, one of the things that I do just right off when I meet people is to kind of normalize what they experience, because a lot of people are already in a very vulnerable place when they come to you and they want to talk about their weight in the first place. So I just normalize that I understand that experience, because I'm not somebody who's just thin, telling them what they need to do to get thin. I used to be there, and I understand what that's like, and I understand what that feels like. So just providing a space where there's no judgment and there's some validation and normalization around what's happening for them. The next thing I want to know is, what have they tried? What were some things that didn't work well? But what I find that other people don't do is I want to find out what are some things that did work well. Because there are some strengths in what people have done, but they don't recognize them as strengths because the scale may not have said what they wanted it to say. So they don't recognize it as a strength. But you did do some things well, and we need to take those things and transfer them over into this process. And by doing that, people begin to really feel good about themselves even before we even talk about a program or what to eat or anything like that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you're right. When you get to the point where you look in the mirror and you're saying, who is that girl? You are very vulnerable. We're in a very tight spot, and self-esteem is probably on a downward spiral. And so just that little boost, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Just to be light about it, tight clothes as well.
So, Dr. Eb, you talked about people being in that vulnerable state. What has it been like for you working with people that are in that type of mindset, that vulnerable, touchy spot?
It is. I think it's really precious because for people to reach out and say, "Hey, I need your help," and I don't even know you, but I want to trust you with my journey. I think it's really precious, and I don't take that for granted when people reach out to me. Also, it is really hard. It is really hard because the thing is, I can't make anybody do what they need to do for themselves. So the hardest part, as y'all probably know, is helping people to change their mindset. I'm not making you change your mindset, but my job is to provide you with the pros, the cons, the benefits, some of the things that you aren't going to like, but to also show you the consequences of not changing and to begin to be that present reminder that if you don't do these things, then this might be your outcome. Or if you do these things, remember this is what your goals were, or this is what you said you wanted to do. So it can be really difficult, and it is a very delicate dance, but I think it's still a very precious place to be, because people, even when they begin to make the smallest of changes, start to feel really good about themselves. And I that piece is invaluable. So I really like it.
Awesome.
Great.
So I guess I want to know, for me, Dr. Ebb, what is it that made you choose this field? What was it that made you choose to be a weight loss or weight management specialist?
So that's a very good question. So I, for many people who y'all know, but I went to school for training as a psychologist. So I like to tell people by day, I'm a practicing psychologist. But it was my own journey that sort of propelled me into this place without me even knowing that this is where I was going to end up. So I started to lose weight, and on my own journey of starting to lose weight, I began I got my master's and I got my doctorate. And so I was doing that because that's what we do career-wise, right? And I just needed to lose the weight. I never thought that the two were interconnected. And I never thought that they were interconnected until I started to see a shift in myself. And it wasn't until I got my training as a psychologist that I realized that the deeper work that I've done has been because I am in this field. And this is what people have been missing. This is what I was lacking when I just had a gym membership back in 2003, and I was just letting the gym take money out of my account and I wasn't going. I was missing the mindset. I was missing the relationship part. And I didn't realize that until I got to this point. And I said, you know what? This is what is missing. This is what people need. Outside of just being told what to eat, this is what people need. So that kind of really by mistake got me here, but through my own journey. And people would ask me, hey, tell me what you did. Tell me what you did. And, they thought it was going to be kind of like, oh, I started drinking water and eating air. And, they just thought that that's what it was going to be like. But that's not what it is at all. So I realized that people were needing something deeper. Oh, and as a psychologist, I've seen a lot of mental illness. I've seen a lot of people struggle with trauma. I've seen a lot of people struggle with chronic pain. And at the core of a lot of those issues is obesity and the relationship with food and what they're eating that's keeping a lot of their symptoms around. So to me, at that point, it made perfect sense.
Thank God for mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank God, God for just falling into things because, thank God for grace because if not been for grace, we not been able to have the expertise that you've been able to give us and the world.
Right. Absolutely.
That's absolutely
and before we go any further, let us reset again. Guys, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Those of you who are on Periscope, those of you on Facebook, invite and share. YouTube, wherever you are, invite and share. We have a treat with us on the Can You Relate show today. Dr. Ebony, PhD Butler. She's one of the world's greatest weight loss experts. Mm-hmm. So listen, you have some questions. When we finish asking our questions to the expertise that she's giving us today, you dial in 770-988-6461, 770-988-6461. See that? She's always on the move.
I'm going to go get on my Periscope now that you said. I don't know why I didn't start it, but I'm going to go start. Periscope.
And I just wanted to clarify, not only is she a weight loss management, she is a mindset manager as well, helping you to get your mind right as it relates to your relationship with food.
Yes.
And we are honored to have the wonderful Dr. Ebony Butler on with us on this afternoon. Getting us ready for the holidays, y'all.
Yeah.
Getting us ready for the holidays.
So, Dr. Ebony, what would you say has been the best thing? What's been your greatest reward with working with people and helping them to change their mindsets, change their relationship with food?
The greatest reward that I can see is when people start to teach other people. Because I think just in general, I really do believe we have some generational issues centered around our relationship with food, centered around our health, and centered around our worth and what we feel like we deserve as it relates to our health. So my greatest reward has been seeing this being a gift that keeps on giving. So once you know, then you can teach somebody else, because there's nothing that anybody can take away from you once you change your relationship. And once you decide that I'm going to change my mindset, that continues to grow. You continue to learn. You continue to teach people. And that is something that is completely invaluable. There's no amount of money that can be invested that can provide that type of sort of longevity to the people who are coming behind you. And so that's been my greatest reward. And that's actually why we started My Sister's Keeper, so that when I know better, I can teach somebody else, and then they can teach somebody else. And eventually we're creating a community of people who know better about their health and who can make some different choices.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal that you would say that, because often we quote the scripture, a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And what better legacy, what better inheritance to leave for those that are coming after us than the gift of health? To break those generational issues that we have, that we've learned, that we've adopted as it relates to how we look at food, how we prepare our food. So that's spot on.
The Bible tells us that, that our body is not ours, and that we are the holy, we house the holiness of Him. The holy temple. Our temple is not ours. And with Dr. Ebony showing us, when we say each one teach one, iron sharpen iron, she epitomizes that. And she helps us. She helps us in this way. And it's almost like it keeps us from repenting, because she prepares us. She prepares us for things like this.
So, Dr. Ebony, we've talked about how you differ from the traditional weight loss coach, in that you tackle the mindset, which is something that's key and a lot of people leave off. Have you seen a lot of success with tackling this issue from that angle?
Absolutely. Because a lot of people will tell me, because at the very basic level, people want to know what they can do different to change their ways. So at the very basic level, I'll hear people tell me, hey, I want you to teach me what to eat. I want you to kind of help me do this. And then when they find that has given them some satisfaction, but when we go deeper, they tell me, you know what, that was just what I needed, because I'm struggling so bad with my dreams. I'm struggling so bad to go to sleep. I'm struggling so bad with my mood, with my stress. And it's so bad that even my relationship is different with my kids, with my husband, with my wife. So I do find that people, although it's not popular yet,
a
lot of people really like the mindset part, because they realize that the mental battle is where the struggle is. Even before we get to the restaurant, even before we get to the place where we are ordering off of a menu, our mind has been made up a long time ago. That relationship has been built a long time ago. The choice has already been made. So we can really hone in and really get to the issues that are there, those beliefs that, so an example, and I guess we can get into this a little bit later, but one of the examples of a mindset issue is, oh, I can eat this and I'll just work it off Monday. Or I can eat this and I'll just work it off Saturday. Or I can eat this, but I'm going to go to the gym and then I can just work it off. Those are relationship issues, and those are justifications and excuses that continue to keep people in the cycle of being stuck, because you never will work off that extra burger and fries. Like, you may not have the calories, but you still have eaten the items. You still have those products in your body that you'll never work off. Right. So once we start to talk about that, and once we really get into those issues, people begin to realize that, hey, I really do need to do some work on my mindset, because then it could keep me from making those kind of choices or being a little bit more responsible in the choices that I'm making.
Can we pray at all?
So here's the thing. I really love that question, to be honest. I know you're being silly, but listen. I did an article for Huffington Post once that said that as much as we are spiritual and as much as we are faithful, we really are not as spiritual and faithful as we think we are. Because we can pray it away, but y'all know, like I know, if you don't make the behavioral change, nothing is going to change. The prayer is still just a request. It's still just a wish. It's still just a desire. And so if you're not doing some things and putting some things in place to actually change that, praying is not going to do anything about the fried chicken and mac and cheese that's sitting in front of you. It's not. And in the Huffington Post article, I talked about that. And I talked about how, and I step on a couple of toes when I do this, but that's okay. I talk about how we will pray over food that is unhealthy, asking God to make that then nourishing, when we already know that what we are eating is not nourishing for us in the first place. But by some way, through tradition, through practice, through habit, we really do that without even being cognizant. And so my job, and what I'm really passionate about, is helping to bring people into the awareness and helping them to even realize that they're doing that in the first place. And is that really something that, because we do it so mindlessly, we do it out of habit, is that really something that's nourishing? Because if you know it's not, there's no need to go and ask God to make it nourishing, because you already know it's not, which will then help you to make different choices in the long run.
That is awesome. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's really good.
Truth. That's truth.
Truth.com. You are so right about that. And when you talk about the mindset of wanting God to work these miracles, and you talk about how, the prayer is just a request. Right. The thing that comes to mind is change isn't change until you change.
Exactly.
Right? We know that faith without works is dead, right? And so when we say that we want to lose weight and we ask God to help us, and He always does, we have to be aware and cognizant, like Dr. Ebb said, to take those ways of escape.
Right.
And that might look like having an accountability coach like Dr. Ebb in your life.
Right.
It definitely would look like that.
The Bible says, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. And we're tempting Him when we pray over things that is unhealthy for us, and we know it's not going to do any good, and we tempt Him anyway. Right,
especially when we struggle with health issues, or know that it's going to exacerbate certain health issues. So absolutely, that's good. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Ouch and amen.
If I can add one more thing to kind of like the change. A lot of people can't make the change because we're so stuck in habit, and we're so stuck in tradition. We're so stuck in the way things used to be that we really don't go beyond that request to actually start making some changes. And when we don't do that, we can't even recognize that the change is present.
Wow.
Or the help is present, right? We can't recognize that the help is present because a lot of us are looking for help to look a certain way when help may not look like that at all. Right. So I like that you said an accountability partner, or some group or some book or something like that. You never know what the help will look like if you are not really tuned in and mindful of what you're really asking.
Absolutely. Our blessings, our prayers, our answered prayers really come in the form that we expect. We ask God for an acorn or a tree, and He gives us an acorn, right? It very rarely will come. We always want things to be done and to come. We always want things to come easy, pre-packaged. And it's this microwave society that we live in, that have us thinking and feeling that way. So, so Dr. Ebony, what would you say would be maybe the most difficult thing for people to achieve in on their weight loss journey?
I really do think, and I keep saying this, but the most difficult thing is changing your mind, and changing that relationship, because it really starts before you're actually even here on this earth. It starts in the womb. because the relationship that your carrier had, that your parent has with food, most likely will be passed down to you. How they talk about food, how they talk about themselves, what they say about food, and then when you get here, what your relationship with food is. I mean, think about a baby. When they are developing, when they are here, they don't have language. The only people who have language are the people around them, and that's the way that they're navigating the world. The only thing that they can do is cry if they want something, cry if they're hurting, cry if they're hungry. So they begin to associate that with this is what I need to do to be soothed.
Wow.
A lot of times, if the people around them aren't clear about their relationship with food, guess what food becomes? Food becomes what you give them when they're in pain. So then you learn to eat for pain. Mm-hmm. Food is what you give them when they're lonely or irritated or frustrated. So what do? You learn to eat for irritation, frustration. Food is what you give them when you think that cry means hunger. So of course you feed them. And a lot of times we're being overfed, we're being oversoothed because the people around us don't even know how to calm us in any other ways besides that. So our relationship is so deep that people think that it's just, oh, when I got older. No, this stuff is happening right when you're very, very, very young. And even when you're even look at the marketing. Mm-hmm. A Happy Meal for children. A happy meal. That means that I'm going to give you some food to soothe you, to make you feel a certain way that I want you to feel. And now I'm associating a mood state with a food item or a food place. And so that way you begin to associate and you become conditioned to believe that a restaurant equals happiness. Food equals happiness. And then even with children, we go to a picnic, we're celebrating, you're going to get to eat these types of food. So then the celebratory sort of, when you celebrate, that celebratory sort of atmosphere, environment is then associated with food. Family gatherings, bonding, those type of things. How many times for Thanksgiving have you said we're going to go on a walk before we eat? We didn't do that. No. So we don't associate Thanksgiving with eating. What we do associate is eating and sleeping.
Yes.
Right? But we don't say we're going to go on a traditional family hike. We're going to go exercise before we go to the gym. People look at you like you're strange. Mm-hmm. But this is where relationships are formed. And if people who are around you taking care of you don't set those standards, you never learn them, so you can't teach them to the people who are coming behind you either. So that's the hardest thing to change, because you have to undo years and years and years of things that have been done.
You know, I just want to piggyback. You said the Happy Meal. You know, when you go to Burger King, it's a king size me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you go to McDonald's, super size me. Mm-hmm. So now you're thinking that you're a superhuman and you're eating kryptonite.
Yes. Oh yeah.
You know, and you know the thing about it is, guys, if you haven't shared already, it's a treat for everybody to have Dr. Ebony here with us, getting us right. If you have your questions after we finish interviewing Dr. Ebony, we'll give you some time to ask your questions. The number is 770-988-6461. 770-988-6461. Listen, we have a treat. She's coming out. Listen, tell us about your new book that you have coming out.
I'm so super excited. Super excited. So thank y'all so much, because I think that I have to give y'all props. Y'all said so many nice things about me, but I really have to be honest and say it was y'all who actually pushed me to actually go ahead and get it done. Because we can say, and this is the same thing that happens with weight loss. We can say we're going to do it. We can say we want to do it, and nothing actually really happens from a want. Right. And so you have to actually put some things in place. And one of the things that y'all told me was, go ahead and contact the people tonight. Do it.
Yeah, I remember.
And I said, I'm going to do it before I get off this phone. And so I did it. Yes. And because of that, it set some things in motion for me to really stop sitting on. I like to call it a baby, because it really does feel like a baby. Yeah. The book, Food Is Not Bae. I mean, in the world of social media, how many things do we see that are hashtag bae? Like hashtag bae. And to be really honest, food is really good. I'm a self-proclaimed foodie myself. And there is nothing wrong with enjoying good food. And I don't want people to mistake me to think that I eat boring or I don't ever enjoy foods, because that's a lie. But my relationship is different. And I want to help teach people boundaries and discipline in order to change that relationship to where you are in control of food and food no longer calls the shots. And so that's what Food Is Not Bait is. It's a guide to helping people learn how to end toxic relationships with food. Not that we won't ever have a relationship with food, but that we want to teach you how to end the toxic ones so that you can build better ones, more healthy ones, so that you can begin to make better choices. So that's what it's all about. And I'm super excited. And I don't think I've said this before, but I have over like 17 ways that you can end toxic relationship with food that we're going to talk about in the book. And it is going to be really thorough. And the thing that I think is unique about this book, and I love about my personality that I'm beginning to really like and accept, is that I'm raw and I'm blunt and I'm real. And that's just the way it's going to be. I'm sorry. So I do a lot of comparison to real life relationships, because sometimes people don't quite hear what they're doing until you break it down for them. So they'll say, oh, girl, I would never talk to anybody who was beating on me. Well, really? Okay, so you may not ever talk to anybody or date somebody who was abusive, but you continue to date food that's continuing to damage all of your organs, continue to punch you in the gut every single time you eat it, but you continue to run back to it. So that's what I do in the book, and I continue to kind of break it down like that. And people are like, oh, my God, I didn't know I was really doing that. But we are. And sometimes we need that shown to us in that way so that we can really snap out of it.
Right, that reality check.
Did y'all hear that?
So, Dr. Ed, when will the book be out?
So the book is set to release January of 2018, but we will be doing pre-sales on it on Black Friday. So I'm super
hear that?
Yes, I'm super excited.
Awesome. So is there a link
that they can get in to get on your
Yes. So I have all of the things that I do. I like to house it in one place, and that's on Linktree. So if you go to my Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Ebony Online, or you can follow me on Periscope at Ebony Butler PhD. In my bio, there's a link. It's linktr.ee/Dr. Ebony Online. linktr.ee/Dr. Ebony Online, and you can sign up there to get on the wait list to be the first to kind of hear about the pre-sales, because there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that comes with it. I can't even believe myself that I'm going to throw all of this stuff in with it for Black Friday, but you have to be on the list to get it. If you're not, then you are going to be in the next batch that goes out that doesn't have all that stuff, but it still will be available for pre-sale, just not with the bonuses.
Yeah, we can't either.
I can hardly
the things that she's going to give with that. We're so happy. Like, oh, thank you. We're going to pay some bills real quick. We're going to pay some bills real quick. Right. We will be right back. Listen, the number, make sure you have your questions ready. In a little while, we'll be asking some questions. 770-988-6461. 770-988-6461. We'll be back in just a second.
Back with Dr. Ebony Butler.
Awesome.
You know what, Earl?
What's up?
I love this time of year.
Me too, Sharray. I love being with family and friends.
It brings laughter and joy and merriment. And our hope for you is to bring new seasons throughout the year. This is the season to be free, to laugh, to sing, to dance, to breathe. This holiday season, with laughter in the air, with us together, anytime and anywhere. This is the holiday season to make your spirits free. Free to love and free to forget everything, things that have hurt you throughout the years. This is the time to spread love and joy, to repair. Oh, this is the season to be free, to laugh, to sing, to dance, to breathe.
This is the season for visions to take place, to create new avenues, create new states, visions of passions and action taking place to a new level of season and grace. This is the season.
against your home. The enemy came up against your children. The enemy came up against your name. The enemy came up against your character. You will win, win. You will win, win. The enemy came up against your health. The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. The enemy came up against your business. You will win. Oh, you will win. Yes, you will.
Somebody up in here tonight that there is something on the inside of you that's going to help you win in this season, and it's called a champion. You ought to open up your mouth and shout, I am a champion. Everything attached to you wins. I said everything attached to you
you point to your neighbor and tell them, everything attached to you wins. Come on, let's tell them, everything attached to you wins. Just tell them, say, it's your winning season. It's your winning season.
Thank you, guys. Welcome back. We are here with our special guest today, Dr. Ebony Butler, weight loss specialist and mindset manager. Dr. Eb, thank you again so much for being here with us.
For gracing us with your presence.
Yes. And so, guys, we brought Dr. Eb on to help us kind of get our mindset right as we gear up for this holiday season when many of us are prone to overeat and eat mindlessly. And so we brought Dr. Eb on to just shed some light on the things that we as that we can do to be more cognizant of what we're eating, how we're eating, and to keep that at the forefront of our minds as we go into the holiday season. So again, Dr. Eb, thank you so much and welcome back to the show.
Are you there, Dr. Eb?
I'm here. Can y'all see me?
Yeah, we can see you now.
Okay.
We can see you now. Okay, good.
So we're going to continue. We have just a few more questions for you, Dr. Eb, and then we'll open it up for our guests that are chomping at the bits to come in and ask their questions.
Okay.
And so you've given us so much information, so much great insight into this relationship piece and the mindset piece and how it stems from childhood, even from before birth. And so I guess my question now would be, so the things that you're teaching in your book and in your programs, will it work? Is it suitable for children? Will it work for kids as well?
Absolutely. So I always tell people there is nothing special about an adult versus a child when they are trying to change their eating with food. For some reason, marketing has tricked us all into believing that children need to eat one way and adults need to eat another way. So what I want to help people learn is that actually this is perfect for children because this is exactly where the change needs to happen. They're the ones who can change their minds and it's not as difficult. They're not as set in their ways. So absolutely perfect for children. And what better way than for you to learn so that you can help influence them and teach them and they can see you modeling the change so that they can then begin to make the changes. So everything that I do is completely safe. I don't believe in starving. And that's one of the things that you should not be having children do. That's why a lot of times children can do juice cleanses. They say this is not safe for children under 15 or this is not safe for minors because you're doing something to your body that's not developmentally safe. So if you ever see something that says this is not suitable for people under 12 or people under 15, that's a red flag that this isn't something that you should even be doing to your body either. Because if it's not safe for them, it's not safe for you. And it's a quick fix and it's a quick alternative. But what I do and what I teach is strictly safe. You can teach that to children. You can teach that to elderly people. It's completely safe. Everything that I do is also safe for chronic illness, safe for diabetes, all those type things, because you're eating real foods and you're learning how to make different choices. And it doesn't matter if you have a thyroid problem or diabetic. That has nothing, that has nothing to do with the relationship that I'm going to teach you how to build.
Amen. That's awesome, Dr. Ebony. And I just want to say, because my sister-in-law and I went through a smoothie challenge with Dr. Ebony. And you're so right in that when our daughter, who she's 15, she was 14 when we went through the challenge a couple months ago. She saw us getting up in the morning wanting to doing smoothies, so she wanted to do a smoothie, and now that she's adopted that, and
to the default,
and that's what she does for breakfast each morning. Instead of running out saying I'm not hungry, she does she whips up a smoothie every morning. And so you're absolutely right. It's about modeling what they see us do. They will definitely do, because how many times have you said, oh my goodness, I can't have anything to myself for these children, right? Anything they see us with, they want a piece of it.
That's it.
And so absolutely, absolutely.
So what's in the future for Dr. Ebony and My Sister's Keeper?
So so I'm overly ambitious, and this has been always my issue, right? Mm-hmm. So I see so many things. First, we're going to get this book out, and then myself and my sister are going to write one about our journey, where we're going to detail the struggles, and we're going to detail it from both of our perspectives, because my sister has a story that I don't think she realizes is so needed. And so we're going to get that story out so people can begin, so people who may not be able to relate to me most certainly can relate to her. And a lot of people can just see that we're just Mississippi girls who have changed our lifestyle, changed our trajectory, and they can do the same thing. So that's one of the things that we're doing. There are speaking tours that are going to come up. And eventually, in the future, I would love to have my book be a part of a curriculum, be a part of a school curriculum on health and wellness, because if that's where we're going to spend most of our time, and that's where we send our children, we need to have something that's going to teach them about eating healthier, being healthier, and adopting those different relationships. And I want to speak at colleges and the nutrition programs, and I also want to help other people who are mental health professionals like me learn how to move beyond what we're being taught in the classroom, because our expertise is needed in a lot of these other areas, and they're so transferable. So I see myself being a business consultant as well. I also see us in the future having a brick and mortar, and where we're going to have people actually come in and teach them some things in person. So many things. The sky is the limit. I'm so super excited. But definitely several more books, several programs, several speaking tours, definitely some retreats, so we can really get to the core issues with some women. I see that in 2018 as well. We were talking about that the other day. So I actually see at least 4 retreats in some major cities with a small number of people, so that we can really hit some of those core issues. So a lot of things, we're not going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm super excited about where we're headed.
Thank God for vision.
Yes. So in the here and now, Dr. Ebb, what other programs do you have available for those who are listening that want to contact and get some help from you?
So one of the things that I really love is, before people even get to work with me, and even before they even invest, they can invest their time. I have a lot of free things available in that link. linktr.ee/Dr. Ebony online. I have a bunch of freebies. I'm always giving away information about what you, she's like, yeah, you do always give away information about what you can eat, meal plans, what you need to stock your pantry with, what you need to have on your grocery list every single time you go to the grocery store. And besides that, so once you do that, and once you feel comfortable enough, because the mindset, the change is very hard. So I like to have people try some things. Once we get past that point, you can enter into an 8-week program with me, 12-week program. I do individual coaching, group coaching, and I actually have a membership program where I can follow you on a monthly basis, tackle some goals month by month. And we actually have our first month is $10. So you get in there for a discount, and that's also in that link. And then it's 34 months afterwards, and we really go above and beyond. Could you say
much again?
Say what?
What's the price again?
The $10 to enter the first month. Like you're gonna pay that at Starbucks. Let's not get confused. Right. And a lot of people are so afraid to invest in themselves because they've been conditioned to believe that they're going to get more worth out of food than they're actually going to get out of somebody actually helping them. So we actually have to relearn how to think about these things. And so we actually have a class tonight where I'm really breaking down some emotional things with the people who are in my membership program. And we're going to work through some of those emotions that are coming up over the holiday season. So it's really intensive, and it's really intense. And so we follow you month by month, because the thing that I found that works with people is if we break the goals down into smaller things that are more achievable, they're more consistent.
Yes.
And so that's what we have.
Awesome. Awesome.
I think we have time for. Well, listen, we don't have time. The next show is Living Day by Day. Listen, Dr. Ebony, could you please say your link one more time?
Yes. So you can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Ebony Online, and you can find that link in my bio. It's linktr.ee/Dr. Ebony Online.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ebony, for being with us. We have enjoyed having you here with us. And I'm sure that our listeners are, you've given us some something to think about.
Yes.
Some food for thought.
Yes.
You've definitely given us that. And we thank you so much. We appreciate you. Guys, we ask that you will tune in to our next show, the Living Day by Day show. And we'll see you all.
We'll see you all after Thanksgiving. Listen, and for all of our people, marriageofgod.com/5 ways. That's a free gift. Get on our list so you guys can take advantage of our sales on Black Friday as well.
Absolutely.
So we'll see you after Thanksgiving. You guys take care, be blessed, may heaven smile upon you. And remember, we're on One Way Praise Radio, where we voice the gospel. Take care, and thank you again, Dr. Ebony.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah.